Intel's i9 processors are known for their high core counts, high frequencies, and excellent ability to overclock. The 10850K is an excellent CPU for gaming and productivity purposes. However, it requires a great motherboard to fully take advantage of it. That's where this guide comes in. We'll briefly discuss how we choose the best motherboards for Intel i9 10850K, and then which are the top 5. To create this guide, there are several things that were taken into account. First off, you will soon find out that the list consists of high-end motherboards, most of which are Z590 choices. Well, the reason is that the processor is a high-end i9 10850K. Not only does it have 10 cores, but it's also an excellent processor for overclocking. We need to make sure we cater to that feature properly. Intel does not allow overclocking on its B series of motherboards, so going with Z series was our only choice. Z490 and Z590 were the only ones left. The majority of our choices are Z590 because it's the newer platform, supports PCIe 4.0, and most of the boards have better VRMs. Speaking of which, it was more important than usual here to focus on the quality of power delivery and VRMs. If a motherboard is going to constrict the 10850K, then it has no right to be on your radar. With that said, we also wanted to focus on other parameters, such as value, design, connectivity, and network features. After taking all that into account, the job was as simple as ranking the boards based on overall score. The overall score is based on our ratings of 4 different parameters: connectivity, value, VRM design, and aesthetics. It was also important for us to award motherboards based on their different features that stand out. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from us. Price information and all motherboards mentioned in the video are available in the description. So let's get started. Number 5. ASUS Prime Z590P ATX. While Z590 always tends to be an expensive chipset for most people, that's not always the case. ASUS's Prime series of motherboards have always focused on providing excellent value to the average gamer. A bit surprising since ASUS always has the most expensive motherboards as well, but that's besides the point here. The Prime Z590P could be one of the best motherboards for Intel i9 10850K if we're concerning ourselves with the average gamer. First off, let's talk about the design. It utilizes a mostly black PCB with silver stenciling. The main focus here is on the aluminum heat sinks that feature a white finish. White has always been a main color for Prime boards, but it looks better than ever here. It's a bit different because of the finish and looks of the heatsinks. Keep in mind that this one ditches RGB lighting completely. The board features 3 full-length PCIe x 16 slots, one of which runs at PCIe Gen 4 speeds. You also get 3 M2 slots, one of which is also PCIe 4.0 x 4. You get 6 SATA ports for storage. Furthermore, memory support is quite good as it supports 128 gigs of RAM at 5,133 MHz. You also get 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and a robust 11-phase power delivery system. It might not be the best for insane overclocking, but light to medium overclocks should be no issue. All in all, the Prime Z590P definitely impresses while being an entry-level pick. It looks very sophisticated, performs as well as expected to, and features everything the average gamer needs. The lack of built-in Wi-Fi is a bit of a letdown, to be fair. However, with the AORUS sync support, it reminds us that this motherboard is made for the average gamer. To sum up what we like is the extremely competitive pricing, the appealing design language, the triple M2 slots, and the great performance in terms of memory OC. On the downside, it is not the best for crazy overclocking, and there is no built-in Wi-Fi. Our rating for VRM design is 8 out of 10. Aesthetics, 8 out of 10. Connectivity, 8 out of 10. Value for money, 9 out of 10. For an overall rating of 8.25 out of 10. Number 4. ASROCK Z490 TAICHI. Anyone who likes the design of the Z490 TAICHI, such as myself, will find any reason to cover this board. Without a doubt, this is one of the most unique-looking pieces of tech available in the PC market. However, it's not just a pretty face, as it brings a lot of value to the market, making it one of the best Z490 motherboards for i9 10850K. Of course, we need to address the design first. ASROCK always changes up the TAICHI look. The Z490 version is one of the most premium looks yet. It features a fashionable black and copper color theme, and this is further complemented by the clockwork-style heatsink on the chipset. There are also a few clockwork stencils on the rear cover panel. Both of these also have customizable RGB, which further adds to the aesthetic appeal. That's enough about the design. What else does this have to offer? Well, you get 3 full-length PCIe 3.0 slots, 3 PCIe 3 M2 slots, support for fast memory up to 4666 MHz, and a robust 12+2 phase VRM design. While this is a Z490 board, it can easily high-end Intel processors with decent overclocking thanks to the power design. PCIe 4.0 support would have been better for future-proofing, but that's what you get with the Z490. Apart from all that, you get support for NVIDIA SLI, 3-way AMD Crossfire, Wi-Fi 6, and 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. If you want something that looks extremely unique, then this is the motherboard to buy. Unfortunately, we realize that not everyone is as enthusiastic about the outlandish color scheme as ourselves. Regardless, it's a great motherboard that is uniquely designed. To sum up what we like is the unique design language, the fast memory support, the decent overclocking performance for Z490, and the Wi-Fi 6 and 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. On the downside, there is no PCIe 4.0 support, and the copper-like heatsinks will not appeal to everyone. Our rating for VRM design, 8 out of 10. Aesthetics, 9 out of 10. Connectivity, 8 out of 10. Value for money, 8 out of 10 for an overall rating of 8.25 out of 10. Number 3. MSI Z590A Pro Wi-Fi. The MSI Z590A Pro is a prime example of focusing on value. The Pro series of MSI motherboards have always been known for this, and this is no different this time around. It's hard to argue with the value MSI represents here with this excellent motherboard. First off, let us address the elephant in the room. In terms of design, this motherboard is not going to blow anyone away. It features an all-black PCB with similar all-black heatsinks all around. Nothing is wrong with the product, it's just that it doesn't entice you in any way. You do get 2 full-length PCIe x16 slots and 3 M2 slots for storage. Of course, you also get 6 SATA ports, 4 of which are at a right angle to the motherboard for easier access. The motherboard also supports 128 gigabytes of RAM with a good speed of up to 5333 megahertz. So in terms of the features, it does start to make up for the design. This is also true with the power delivery system. It features a 12 plus 2 plus 1 phase VRM design, and 12 of the phases are dedicated to the V-core. In total, the V-core has access to 660 amps of power, which is a bit lower than other boards. However, it also costs less than those motherboards. Despite that, it can easily handle the i9-10850K at stock and with some overclocking as well. All in all, while the MSI Z590A Pro does not visually look impressive, it does make up for that one shortcoming. The fact that you get Wi-Fi 6E, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, and USB 3.2 Gen 2 support is excellent. The value argument it proposes is also hard to ignore. Look past the design, the lack of RGB lighting, and the non-existent onboard on-off reset buttons, and you'll find a motherboard that is excellent on a budget. To sum up what we like is the competitive pricing for a Z590 board. The shielded PCIe x16 and M2 slots, the PCIe 4.0 support at a good price, the Wi-Fi 6E and 2.5 gigabit Ethernet support, and the robust VRM design. On the downside, the design is generic and bland, lack of RGB lighting, and there are no onboard buttons. Our rating for VRM design is 8 out of 10. Aesthetics, 8 out of 10. Connectivity, 9 out of 10. Value for money, 9 out of 10. Overall rating, 8.5 out of 10. Number 2. ASUS ROG Maximus 13 Hero. The ROG Maximus Hero is an evident example of a great high-end board. Featuring an impressive spec sheet, high-end controllers, and a robust power delivery system, this beast has the potential to future-proof for almost a decade down the line, especially if you take full advantage of it. Design-wise, and this is personal preference, it is arguably the best-looking Z590 motherboard on the market. This is thanks to the all-black PCB and heatsinks. The outlier here is the chipset heatsink, which features a light gray finish to accent the stealthy exterior. The rear panel cover has the ROG logo and a ribbed design similar to the M2 heatsinks. Speaking of which, you get 4 M2 slots with this board, and that's just plain impressive. So let's quickly go over the specs. You get the latest and greatest Wi-Fi 6E, 2 controllers for 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, a comprehensive USB 3.2 Gen 2 array on the back, Thunderbolt 4, a premium audio codec with a separate DAC, and more. In terms of the VRMs, you get a 14 plus 2-phase power delivery system. That's lower than our top pick, but the quality is what matters here, and the Maximus 13 Hero excels in that regard. Overall, this is a motherboard that embodies the meaning of premium. Everything with this board screams quality. Thunderbolt 4 is a great addition, and AORUS Sync plus Armory Crate is an excellent combo to control RGB. This is why we say the motherboard has it all and is more future-proof than one could ask for. Nevertheless, nothing is perfect, and the 2 major issues with this one are the price tag and the incredibly aggressive design, which might steer minimalists away from this beast of a motherboard. So make your decision accordingly. To sum up what we like here is that it's arguably one of the best looking Z590 boards. A whopping 4 M2 slots, incredible thermal design and VRM cooling, high performance networking, and the Armory Crate and AORUS Sync work well. On the downside, it is very pricey for the average gamer, and it's not suitable for minimalistic builds. Our rating for VRM design, 9 out of 10. Aesthetics, 9 out of 10. Connectivity, 9 out of 10. Value for money, 8 out of 10. For an overall rating of 8.75 out of 10. Number 1. GIGABYTE Z590 AORUS Master. The GIGABYTE AORUS Master series of motherboards is a product line that proves itself again and again. This motherboard is nearly everything one could want for gaming, content creation, development purposes, and more. It has a clean aesthetic, a bit different from GIGABYTE's AMD or X570 boards. The PCB and heatsinks are predominantly black with some tasteful accents thrown here and there. All 3 M2 slots come with a heatsink that is combined with the chipset heatsink itself, providing a uniform look. Furthermore, the chipset heatsink features an AORUS Eagle logo. The rear panel features the AORUS and product branding, along with customizable RGB. In terms of overclocking capability, it features an 18+1 phase VRM design that is built for some serious overclocking. You should be able to crank the 10850K to the max, no problem. The board also features dual BIOS chips, LED error codes, and excellent water cooling support. With all that said, it is easy to see why this gets our Editor's Choice Award. It has everything an enthusiast could want. Sure, you can go even crazier if money's not an issue, but we think the AORUS Master is already more than enough for the majority of 10850K buyers. Still, the price is a tough pill to swallow for some, and the fact that this board lacks Thunderbolt 4 support might throw off some professionals. To sum up, what we'd like is the high-end components all around. The premium Aquantia 10 gigabit Ethernet, it's built like a tank and looks like one too, the beefy VRM setup for overclocking, and the excellent selection of ports. On the downside, it is quite expensive for the average consumer, and it lacks Thunderbolt 4. Our rating for VRM design is 9 out of 10. Aesthetics, 9 out of 10. Connectivity, 9 out of 10. Value for money, 8.5 out of 10, for an overall rating of 8.8 out of 10. So what do you think? Which of these 5 is the best motherboard for you? Or do you think another motherboard's better for the 10850K? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have an awesome day.